Hello, everyone. Good afternoon to all of you, and warm welcome to the interview series by EduTap. So, this today again we have a topper with us. NABARD Gr A examination has been cracked by Mr. Sameer Khan. So, I just want to tell you that Mr. Sameer has cracked NABARD examination in his first attempt, and he is a working professional. So, he has cracked this examination while working for a private organization, right? So, warm welcome to Sameer. First of all, congratulations and thank you for sparing out time for us.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for having me. And I was so looking forward to having this conversation with your team in person. But I think this is the new normal now, Zoom.
Right, new normal Zoom. And I think, Sameer, before we move on to the interview, I would just request you to give your brief introduction. Although I've already told students about your background that you have cleared the examination first time, but introduction from your, hearing from you about you, students would want that.
Hello, everyone. I am Sameer Khan, and I have done my engineering from SRMS College, Bareilly. I am a BTech CSE graduate. 2016, I got placed in TCS, campus placement itself. So for the last 4 years, I've been working in TCS. And while working there, this year I have cleared NABARD Gr A officer exam, IBPS PO, and RRB Scale 2 IT officer exam. So along with this, and definitely I'd like to give a big shout out to all those people who are managing their preparation along with having a 9 to 5 job. Been there, done that. It's tough.
Okay, thank you, Sameer. That was actually, I think that would be encouraging for the aspirants who are currently working also, because we have a lot of students who are working and they are worried about like, will we be able to clear or not? Okay, so you are the motivation for them, I would say. So,
Uh,
guys, I would say that Sameer has cleared 3 examinations in one go, right? And he has chosen NABARD. So, I'm sure people are like curious about your strategy. What all did you follow? What all did you not follow? What was your strategy? So, shall we begin with phase 1 strategy, Sameer?
sure.
Right. So, please tell us about how did you prepare for phase 1 specifically, or did you like prepare for phase 1 and phase 2 together for NABARD? And was it a focused preparation for NABARD only?
Okay. So, yes, when I was preparing for NABARD, as far as phase one is concerned, it was a generic preparation for all the exams. But definitely, I started preparing for phase one and phase two together. And I would like to specifically point it out like I had exam in Feb, I think, prelims. So,
Right.
when I started, I filled the form and I joined those Telegram groups where people study. I didn't even know the full form of ESI and ARD. So I started totally from scratch, and going from there, I just focused on my phase one, as I was also preparing for had prepared for IBPS PO and RRB Scale 2 IT officer, and along with that, like mine is a specialized stream. I cleared NABARD Gr A in IT as an IT officer.
Hmm.
So that was a little different from the generous people, but took both of them side by side.
Hmm. Okay.
And yeah.
And like for phase 1 specifically, as you said, you were not even aware about ESI, ARD, these components. So, like, what was the starting point that this all should I do? And how many months before the examination did you give to yourself for the preparation?
So I started preparing for NABARD the moment right next from the next day when I filled my form for it, and quant reasoning and English. Yes, I had command over them, right?
Hmm.
But ESI and ARD were new to me. So what the strategy I chose was, and I would like to point this out to people who are, especially who are starting out from scratch. Please do not start with 6 to 12 NCERTs and books of big short authors comprising of 1,000 pages. Just try to, just read some concise notes. What I personally did was I started reading current affairs. I would sift through them, and wherever I would find like ESI, something related to ESI or ARD, If I didn't know the meaning, I would search the meaning. I would learn about the topic, that concept. So I prepared for ESI and ARD in this way. And moreover, I only it was limited only to phase one for me, because in phase two I was supposed to write paper two on my own in my own field. So for me, preparation was limited for ESI and ARD.
But I think a very major key takeaway which students would take from here is that uh, although you were new for like ESI, A&D, you were not aware about these things, but you were not confused that, I have to read all the books, I have to cover each and everything. We get these queries that where to start from, है ना? So you started, you said, from current affairs. And then whatever you found was related to ESI, ARD, you were finding it on Google or referring to some notes, right?
Yes, actually, the thing is, I've joined many Telegram groups to get a clearer perspective. What I see is that newcomers, they just blindly ask for guidance from people. And to anyone, I would say, just refer to the notification, see what is the syllabus, refer to at least past 2-year papers, and you're going to get a much clearer perspective on what is the syllabus and how you need to prepare. And then you can, just ask people. So that is a better way of, if you want to touch any exam. And please, especially for even for quant and reasoning, I would say, if you are a starting newbie, please don't start out with completing the entire Arun Sharma or the entire RS Agarwal. That is not needed. So that is kind of my strategy.
So that is again a very important thing you've mentioned here, that read the notification yourself, है ना? Students, you must, you see, toppers are there with you. Sameer is telling you that you should read the notification. You should see the previous year paper, so that you can actually filter out what is important, what are they trying to ask. Just second thing, Samir, I would want to know that you have said that do not go through the book completely for even quant reasoning. What do you suggest? As a, like, you had a banking wala thoda sa preparation, so you could still do it easily. But those who are not preparing for other examinations, banking examinations, and do not have a good command in QRE, what should they do? Like, where should they start from?
So one thing before telling my strategy, I'd like to share one thing, that what I've lately observed. What people do is, when they're preparing for exam, their focus is on covering the syllabus. Just get it over with, and their focus is not on how well they are covering it. So it has to be about quality over quantity. So now, as for competitive exams, it's different from what you do in college or in school. What you need to do is you need to take a smarter approach to your preparation, and this applies to everything, be it IBPS, or RRB, or even like the cream jobs like RBI and NABARD. So the smart approach is, if you want to try the questions which come in, like if I take quant, for example, the questions which come like time and work and inequality, at some point in your schooling, you have solved these questions. You got acquainted with these topics, right? So what you should do is, I would kind of call it reverse engineering or something. If you are a newbie, buy some good mock test, a test series, even for prelims, and just try to attempt that test. When you attempt that test, just analyze that test. What are the questions you could not solve at all? What are the questions you solved wrong? Or what are the questions which took time? Then, according to those questions, just take those topics and study them on internet or on YouTube, or if you're taking classes. This is the smart way of preparation instead of completing a book. So what happens is, same in reasoning. What happens is, when you are preparing in such a way, you are excelling in those topics from which questions will be asked in exam. And in quantum reasoning, if you know how to solve a question, only the data changes in the exam, right? So you can solve. There is no need. I never solved the entire Arun Sharma. I never solved RS Agarwal. And I've seen friends, I've seen people who do that and like spend months into it and suffer.
Right, that's right. That's again a very beautiful thing. Actually, you have elaborately explained here that rather take the mock tests. Okay, students are actually, when they start the preparation, they are worried. I have seen this, that how can I take a mock test? I've just started. What if I do not score good? But that is what you have said, that scoring is not the objective of the test. Rather, identify what you need to do, right? Okay. That was a beautiful thing about quantitative and reasoning also. And what would you suggest for English?
English is something, so many people ask me, like, could you suggest some course to us which we would take and we would learn English? But I would like to point out English, like geography and maths and other things. It's not a subject, it's a language. So if you want to excel in English, if you want to score well, first of all, start using English in daily life and start reading lots of books, be it novels, start reading, novels or storybooks or newspapers, start listening to news in English. Get acquainted with it, because that is the only way in the exam when there's so much stress, you can just look at the sentence and find out whether it's grammatically correct or not. And not by, just okay, present continuous or past continuous. This is a better way. Once you get your brain gets accustomed to it, used to it, then maybe you can study grammar and take past year questions, and that can get through. You can get through this English part, but definitely not just by thinking you will just do some course and it's going to. No, that doesn't.
So acquaint yourself with English, right? Treat it like a language rather than a subject.
Yes.
Okay, that was a good thing. And I can see students are actually here. I will just take out the names. They are saying hello, hi to you, and are happy. Lipika, Ritik, Shubham, Ursula, and Sonali are here. Okay, students, you can also ask your questions if you have in your mind. If you feel that that question was left out, I have not asked that question. You can also write. I will pick that question up. Right. ठीक है तो quant reasoning even English Sameer has told us. Now Sameer, I'll move on to GA वाला part. मतलब current affairs basically, specifically if we talk about. So what do you suggest? How to prepare? What to prepare? All those things.
Yeah, current affairs is endless. So if I talk about my strategy, what I do is I refer to multiple sources. But my reason is because I'm reading one type of PDF and I get bored. So just to maintain that interest, I refer to many. But to other people, I would suggest just restrict yourself to a limited resources, limited sources. Just take one or two, and the important thing is how to start on daily basis. You can take Affairs Cloud or even EduTap or whatever is best in the market. Watch the daily current affair video. Every source, I think they're just maximum half an hour video they give. So watch that video every day. And then for weekly and monthly revision, you can refer to those notes or those PDFs which they are providing. You can refer to multiple sources, but do watch daily video every day. You can watch it at any time you want. And trust me, it helps. This is how it has worked for me.
Sameer, like I am asking this question on behalf of many students because as a faculty member, I get these questions that, ma'am, do I need to make notes out of the videos? Or students say that when I hear the videos again and again, I feel that I'm not able to answer the question based on that. So, what to do in that case?
Now, again, I would say this is the strategy that I will tell it has worked for me. It might or might not work for other people, but there's no harm in trying it because I've successfully tried it in 3 exams. So while watching the video, do not take any notes. Do not take any notes because you have PDFs for that later. Just listen very attentively to that video and what they do. I think almost everybody is doing what they do is, if there are 4 options to a MCQ, right? So first they're going to tell the correct answer. And then the rest 3 options, also they are going to tell what question could be framed for these rest other 3 options, the 4 options. And then they are going to cover the static part. So just listen to it and enjoy it. Just learn it and then revise it from the PDF. If you're just taking notes, then actually you're not kind of paying attention to it.
So take it like a class itself. Rather, you have the PDF later on, either say you can revise it, right?
Yeah.
And ESI ARD, how to tackle the static part? Current affairs, I understand. You have said that the things which were related to the syllabus of ESI ARD, those you covered. But what about the static part?
Static part, I would say ESI and ARD, it's an endless ocean. So please do not run everywhere. Just confine yourself to one particular source. Like even if you have EduTap. So if you take just that one course, it has anything and everything related to the static part. Do not run after multiple sources. Take one source, read it, and revise it. And I think that would suffice. That is what people should do.
Right. So I hope this helps. Right. Again, this is a very important takeaway, guys, that stick to what you are reading. Do not run behind different multiple sources for only one particular thing. Right. Rather stick to the source and revise it again and again. ठीक है. So that was about our QRE. And coming to your descriptive examination, like English descriptive. You have in IT stream also this descriptive English, right? So what tips would you like to give to the students for that paper?
So the descriptive exam, it was we all had prepared for essay to be of 250 marks, 250 words. And when we went there, it was quite a shocker. We were thrown off balance at the moment the exam opened. There was this 400-word essay. So I would suggest what people can do is in descriptive, practice typing. Don't practice writing on in your notebook with pen. Practice typing, because there has to be that coordination between your mind and your fingers while you're typing, right? So practice typing well in advance, at least 1 month before exam. And you can just take daily current affair topics. Just take daily current affair topics and try writing essay or letter on them. One thing which my friend, which many people say is that, oh, my vocab is not good, or maybe, I don't have fancy words. I lack that. So I would like to just say it out there that it's okay if you write your answer in simple English. It's not a philosophy class, right? In simple English, just make sure that the essay or the letter is organized in a proper manner. If you're writing essay, there is to be a certain opening to it. Then you just take it in a way, mention the points, and then conclude it in a proper manner. It can be the simplest of English. Just make sure there's no grammatical error in it. And as far as strategy is concerned, like it was such a shock to see 400-word essay. So what I did there was, because I had also prepared for a 250-word essay. So what I did was I attempted the essay. I only wrote till, like, there's a timer which shows you how many words you've written. I only wrote 250 words. I left the essay there and I moved on to the rest of the descriptive paper. I completed the paper. Then I came back to the essay and I extended it and completed it to entire 400 words. Then I did proofreading and all that. How this helped me? This helped me that it made sure that none of the questions were left out. It happened with so many people that said we weren't able to attempt, we weren't even able to even attempt precis or comprehension, because they were so busy writing the essay. And it is also a fact that the first question which you attempt in exam takes the most time. So we need to be careful about that.
So that is, again, I would say, a very interesting thing which you have shared with us. I think this people should actually, you have actually, Samir, what I can say, you have handled the surprise element really well in the paper. Most of the time what happens is that they get confused. Now, how to write 400? I was prepared for only 250. And in that chaos, they will probably end up doing something which is not right for the examination, like other questions they will miss out on. So you took it very lightly. And coming to that simplicity of the English thing, that is also, you have pointed the right thing, that flow should be there. What you are writing should be presented well, and there should be a flow. There is no need of fancy words. You do not need to have a very high vocabulary to write essays or to tackle English descriptive. I hope students are hearing it and they make the best use of it. This advice is going to be very beneficial to all of them. Okay. And coming to the other paper, IT stream, you said you have cleared in, right? So what suggestion would you want to give to the IT stream students only?
Actually, this suggestion I would not just give to IT stream, I would give to every person who gave phase 2 in RDBS and all, even the specialized streams. Like, everybody had 35 questions of 2 marks and 30 questions of 1 marks. The suggestion I would give is, like initially I said, people just run after. Now even for paper 2 for generalist post, the syllabus of ESI and ARD is endless. Similarly for IT, it is 4 years of BTech syllabus. All needs to be covered, be it networking, operating system, and other things. So like I pointed out initially, it's about quality over quantity. So it doesn't matter if you are in a very hurried manner, you're just completing the entire syllabus, not grasping the concept. What you need to do is, whatever you cover it well, you cover it in such a way that from that topic, whatever question comes in exam, be it objective, be it subjective or a numerical. You should be 99 or 100% sure that you're going to solve it correctly. Why this approach is going to help you? Because there has been sudden change in RBI syllabus, right? They have introduced,
right.
yeah, they have introduced descriptive in FM and ESI. So even people who have been preparing for the last 2 years or 3 years, they are thrown off balance. They are panicking how we are going to do it. So if you have read a topic, studied a topic really well, then what is the need to panic or even worry about? If you know that topic, you are already preparing for descriptive. Apart from attempting 50 marks objective in FM, you can also write a 50-mark essay and all that, and there's no need to worry. So focus on quality. You need to study a topic really well. And if I personally tell you, like I used to have a 9 to 10 hour job daily. So even I did not complete 100% syllabus for phase 2, for paper 2 in mains. I only completed around 70% of the syllabus. But I completed it so well that whatever question came, I was sure that I'm going to answer it correctly. So that is the approach one needs to follow. Don't just mug up things for the fact, okay, I have to learn these many facts, these many figures, I have to learn reports and indices, just for the fact that I could mark in MCQ. That should not be the approach.
So whatever you're reading, that covering, you should be able to solve the questions based on that. Not only just you have covered your syllabus, you have covered rather your individual topic, and you should be sure about it. So coming to that, Samir, I would also want to know your daily strategy for the preparation of the examination, because you have been a working candidate. You had your job, 9 to 10 hour job, as you said, and then you were preparing simultaneously. How did you manage?
Yeah, actually, for the last 4 years, every day I would feel, because I've been an extremely competitive person since maybe kindergarten. I would always come first in class or second in class. And in even BTech, I did with honors. So I've been very competitive. And these 4 years in IT, I always kind of felt that maybe I'm sailing in two boats and I might end up being a part of none, right? So a part of my brain would say, you should devote your time to excel in your career in IT. While the other part would say, just give one more year to RBI and NABARD because you love this too. So maybe I was in kind of this love triangle of me, my IT career and the banking career. That's what has been happening for the last 4 years. So again, I would say, and this thing, ma'am, this thing I would like to point out what I've been observing, especially since this advent of Telegram, where you meet thousands of people, you get to know their views. And this comment I would make this for everybody, be it for smaller jobs, like it's not small IBPS, PO and all, they're good jobs, or be it like the cream jobs, like NABARD, RBI, or be it even UPSC. What I would like to comment is I have observed that the entire process of preparation for all these exams, it has become kind of toxic would be too strong a word. That unsavory or distasteful. That entire process of preparation has become kind of distasteful, because I kind of see people that they're preparing for exam. There's lots of syllabus to be covered. They're just criticizing the recruitment agency. They're criticizing RBI and NABARD, and they're fretting and they're completing syllabus for the sake of just getting it over with. And that should not be the approach at all. That should not be the approach at all, because the entire point of all this learning is to enhance our personality, right? And to make sure that our productivity increases later. So what is happening is, students are already going through such a harrowing experience, being stressed all the time, that they feel once I get the job, I'm going to lean back and I'm going to be very stress-free. But that should not be the case, because once you go there, you need to work even harder, right?
That's right. You have to be on your toes.
Yeah. So, and that is not the case. So, to all the aspirants, young, maybe who are borderline age, who are there, irrespective of the exam you're preparing, be it clerk, be it PO, or be it UPSC, the key is time management. If you're managing your time, if you're having consistency in what you're studying, it is whatever you're studying is never going to pile up. Now, I being a working individual, I have to work 9 or 10 hours, I get tired. And suppose my strategy is 1 month before exam, I'm going to study 3 hours daily. Now, suppose if I'm having a 9 hour shift and I'm not able to study, so what I'll do is I plan. I am going to study 1.5 hour daily. And on weekends, Saturdays and Sundays, I'm going to study 7 hours each day. So I'm going to try to compensate overall and ensure that I'm studying 3 hours daily on an average. So if you manage your time, the entire experience of preparing for any exam is going to be very a happy experience, and ultimately which is going to result in better productivity and a better personality of the aspirant.
Wonderful thing that was. So basically, consistency, even consistency on an average basis would do, right? If you are not able to study, if you have missed out due to some reason, due to your work or any reason, try to compensate on the weekends, right? Okay. And Samir, what do you suggest? Like, how many hours? Again, this is a very subjective kind of question because a number of hours cannot define what a student or how much can you grasp. But still, on an average, what would you suggest that this is the decent limit in which you should study? Like, this number of hours you should at least devote on a daily basis, or even for that matter, average basis.
5 to 6 months before exam, if you're preparing in well in advance, then at least 1.5 hour daily. And 1 month before exam, you have to give 3 hours minimum daily. If you're not able to, like today I was busy, I studied only 2 hours, then tomorrow you have to compensate for it, you have to study 4 hours. Because time has to be given according to the preparation you are doing. Plan, make a planner, decide these are the topics I have to cover this month. So it has to be according to that, but 1 month before exam, at least 3 hours daily you have to give. So that has to be managed.
So basically, the students who are aspiring, who want to appear in the NABARD this year, guys, you have the opportunity. Okay, you have well enough time. You can start and also clear the examination. Right? I would say even RBI aspirants can do this if you are dedicated enough. Okay, chalo. Samir, taking you to the interview process. What all suggestions? Although you seem like a very sorted personality, but what do you think would you like to suggest to the students for interview specifically? Like, did you prepare for it, or how did you groom up yourself for that?
See, I sometimes feel that 15 to 20 minutes is very less a time to, judge a person, whether if he's fit for a job, and that to a job which he is going to do for the next 30 plus years. So if you're getting those 15 to 20 minutes, you need to be the best damn version of yourself. You need to own it. That's what you need to do. And, one problem is there are lots of students who are very talented, they good knowledge, everything, they can work really well in wherever they're going. One problem is what students do is they write down answers beforehand because the questions are only repetitive. They write down answers, learn them by heart, they memorize them, and then they say it in exam. So this I would like to point out. Yes, it's true that the question examiner is going to ask, is going to frame that question based on your answer to his previous question, right? And now many aspirants know this as well. So what they do is they already prepare matter beforehand, they memorize it, thinking what we are going to do is we are going to drive the conversation towards our strong areas. That's fine. Exactly. But when that backfires when the interviewer, who are very smart people, when he decides to dig deeper, or when he tweaks his question a little bit, then what does the person do? He might be the most hardworking and wonderful candidate. What he does, he panics. Either he starts fumbling or he starts arguing, and he loses marks. So one more thing I'd like to say to all the aspirants, that after giving 3 exams and finding out that interview is never about how many correct answers you give. In Telegram, I saw after even different exams, hey, I could not answer 4 questions, I'm out. So that is not the case. I think what they judge is how you respond to their questions. That is more important. They are very experienced people. Just those few questions, they will find out how you respond to stress, whether you are a rigid and stubborn person or you are flexible in your viewpoints, or how quickly you come up with resolution to even be it crude or complex problems. So just be the best version of yourself. Do not memorize. Do not go into the interview room with your head full of pre-planned answers. Your answers need to be organic. They need to be spontaneous. It doesn't matter if you take time and think and speak. You can take time. It doesn't matter. And that's the way. Just form your answers on the spot. And if you have those personalities, those characteristics, you're definitely going to nail it.
Okay, so basically the underlying thing which I can understand and convey to the students is that be yourself, don't be
Yeah.
artificial. Do not try to make up the answers because anyhow you'll be caught, or even not, it will not be in your favor.
Yeah, actually, the moment they start cross-questioning, the entire facade falls apart. All the superficial, and they might not even point out to you. They'll just keep smiling to you. Okay, thank you. But maybe in RBI last year, I have never given RBI, but like many of the students were complaining that we got such less marks. So maybe that is the reason. They wouldn't point it out, but they did see something negative in you. So no superficial behavior. Just be yourself, and it's going to help you.
Be genuine enough, be yourself, like try to put yourself in a good way. That's it. That you yourself are this and try to be that only. है ना? Chalo, that was a lovely conversation, Sameer. Anything else which you would want to add? You feel that this would help to the students apart from our phase 1? Then we have discussed about phase 2, although you've appeared through IT stream, but you've given good enough points for even the general post students, right? And even interview, you've given some very beautiful tips to the students. Anything else you'd like to add up?
One thing I'd like to say is to all those people who have been, you are sitting at home, you're not working, and you have, you have 24 hours to yourself. If you have the convenience of locking yourself in a room with your parents, timely supplying you food and other things, facilities, I would say you are privileged. You are privileged, and please make good use of that opportunity, because if you're working 10 hours a day, it's really hard to crack any exam. It can be clerk or it can be any. It takes a toll on you, because then you need to excel in both areas, right? So if those who are not working, please make use of that time, and don't just criticize yourself if you are not able to clear some exams and you are not working. People just go into that depression mode. I'm not working, I'm not able to clear exams, and I'm studying 10 hours a day. Do not fret over that. You just need to change your strategy. And if you have 24 hours to yourself, just work hard, change your strategy. Always remember, if you are failing at something, if there's an exam, if you're appearing for NABARD and you failed twice, then there's no problem with you. You are perfect, you're fantastic. The problem is with your approach, with your strategy. Change that strategy and you're definitely going to excel. And to the working individuals, I said hats off to those who clear even UPSC and all those exams while working. And all the best to all the aspirants. Keep working. If one strategy doesn't work, immediately move to the next one. Don't keep it. Thank you.
Thank you, Sameer. And I think students, this really, really helps you a lot. Sameer has tried to give a crisp strategy. And I think all the pointers, whichever areas we have spoken about, be it phase 1, phase 2, descriptive paper, or even your interview, he has given very important pointers which can actually help you to improvise your own self, your own strategy. Do that. Okay, and I really hope that this interview, you like this interview a lot. Okay, do drop us a comment. How did you like this interview? What did you like more about Sameer's strategy? Right. Thank you for joining in. Thank you, Sameer, so much for your time. Wishing you all the very best for your career ahead. We hope you make all of us proud. Right. Thank
I
you
would
so
like to add on. I'd like to add on that for the last 1 year, during the pandemic, I've been watching the success stories on your EduTap channel, and by God's grace, today I got the chance to have this online session. Similar thing. So thank you so much to the entire EduTap team for all the guidance, and it's been a wonderful experience. Thank you.
Thank you, Sameer. Okay. Thank